You've been in fires a lot. No matter how experienced you are, you got to have somebody on your shoulder telling you that, they're backing you, because you don't know. There are times when you say, hey, God, just get me through this. I'll be a good boy. I'll go to church on Sunday. I'm going to take care of everything. Get me through this.
The battleground. It's very important to know the enemy is fire and how the enemy spreads, convection, conduction, and radiation. And you got to know your battlefield. You're going to do battle on the fire ground, so you got to know the battlefield.
The best thing could happen to all of my people would they run into all of you. The whole secret of this business, I think, is to know your job as intimately and as interconnected as you possibly can.
The premier position that the workers in this room have put this service in is that we are the most popular service, we're the most accepted service, and we're the most trusted service. Now, the worst thing that can happen to us is that we get complacent and we don't keep agitating each other, and we don't keep asking the kinds of questions that we are asking here.
To be able to work at an occupation which brings tremendous personal satisfaction, and to enjoy the association with the marvelous people we have been privileged to work with, makes firefighting enviable to those sentenced to much more mundane walks of life.
Somewhere in this room, there is someone that will be up here on this stage accepting this award in the future, because this is the group that is the leadership of the fire service.
I think, like most people that have these things happen to them, they realize they really stand on the shoulders of people who have gone before them, people who have stand next to them, and people they admire.
To the FDIC fire engineering family, and to my beloved friend, the late Steve Alk. As a team, there was nothing we could not accomplish in making this the greatest fire service conference in the world.
It will be all of you, the true leaders of the fire service, that keep the torch of tradition burning intensely, that will steer us through these turbulent waters and allow us to emerge an even stronger and more resilient fire service.
You're the best and the brightest the fire service has to offer. And I would encourage you to attend as many classes as you can. Take the knowledge you gain, bring it back and share it with your team, and above all, be all that you can be. Thank you, stay safe, God bless, and buckle up.
This award, it's a testament to a pursuit, a calling, a sharing of knowledge. We understood the phenomena of smoke movement through the stack effect, but we didn't associate that with fire behavior and the fact that if you were in a position of smoke and fire travel, you were in the barrel of a shotgun.
Mentor, train, share with everybody, make a difference. Love this job, and to anyone that doesn't, to anyone that disrespects it, show them the door.
This is a real privilege to do what we do, and it's a joy. I notice today sometimes when we get into the tactical discussions that it gets pretty bitter and nasty amongst some people. I think Bobby mentioned it this morning. Keep arguing, keep talking, but don't take it personal.
Once again, please welcome Chief Bobby Halton and the daughter of Chief Tom Brennan, Ms. Eileen Brennan.
It's my favorite part because I get to hug Eileen. Love you, pal. Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, we now have a precious opportunity to acknowledge a man for his work, his passion, and his dedication. It's sorely important that we do so. For men of the type that we honor this morning are truly indispensable. The world as we know it, with all its wonder, has been crafted in no small measure properly by men such as Bill Gustin. Much of what we hold dear and much of what we find good comes from the unrestrained efforts of men and women like Bill Gustin. Here's a short glimpse of Bill's labors so far. Captain Gustin is a 45-year veteran of the fire service. He began his career in 1973 as a volunteer firefighter in the Chicago area. He is a third-generation firefighter. His dad and grandfather were officers in the Chicago Fire Department. He began his career with the Miami-Dade Fire Rescue Department in 1978. Captain Gustin instructs firefighter recruits and newly promoted officers as the lead instructor in Miami-Dade's Officer Development Program. He has taught fire science classes, industrial fire safety, shipboard firefighting for the Miami-Dade College. He's a technical editor for Fire Engineering Magazine and an editorial advisory board member for the FDIC International Conference. Captain Gustin has worked as a lead instructor and advisor for the U.S. Agency for International Development and has conducted training programs for fire brigades in several Caribbean countries. He is also a member of Miami-Dade's International Disaster Response Team. He was a member of the FEMA Working Group. Captain Gustin was named Florida's Firefighter of the Year in 1990. We asked a few of Captain Gustin's peers if they would share some of their thoughts on Bill. Here are some of just the highlights. From GEM's executive editor, Mike Doc McAvoy. Bill Gustin has given his entire life to the fire service, and in that time accomplished more and contributed more than most could ever dream of achieving. Besides writing and teaching, he continually learns from others, leads by example, and treats everyone respectfully, even the intoxicated homeless patient on a 2 a.m. EMS run. Bill's dear friend, Chief Rick Lasky, had this to say: Captain Gustin defines what it means to be a teacher and a mentor. His dedication to our profession is paralleled by few. He is that great boss that you've always heard about, and I wish I could have worked for him. Retired Battalion Chief, FDNY, Jerry Tracy, had this to say of Bill: Bill Gustin has touched upon and improved many lives in the fire service, including mine. With more than 40 years on the job, he continues to be a student of the game. He shares his knowledge only to make us all better at what we do. Bill is a professional in every sense of the word. Chief Mittendorf had this to say of Bill: although there are multiple reasons for Bill to receive this award, some of the most noteworthy are his knowledge, his presentation skills, and his reputation. This holds true with the many articles he has written for Fire Engineering Magazine that seem to easily capture some of the simple core values of the subject and that can easily be applied to everyday fire scenarios. Chief Steve Pegram added, I met Bill like so many others through fire training, first at FDIC, and then when I was invited to join the FDIC Advisory Board. When you meet Bill, it's easy to become friends. He's interested in you, where you're from, where you work, what kind of hose load you carry, and what kind of nozzle you use. From the legendary Chief John Norman, Bill has been a lifelong student of the fire service, an instructor and mentor to many. For decades now, I have read his articles, sat in his classes, and learned some of his great techniques on subjects from forcible entry to hose line stretching and fire attack. Bill's approach is always well-grounded in realistic methods that work with minimal staffing, minimal tools, and maximum firefighter safety. What more can a fire officer or instructor hope for? Bill's friend and co-host, retired FDNY captain, the Mike Dugan. This is a man who has lived, breathed, and more importantly, taught the fire service for his entire adult life. Bill is a lifetime learner and therefore a lifetime teacher. He is passionate, driven, and willing to do what's ever necessary to make the fire service and his beloved Miami-Dade better. Professor Glenn Corbett had this to say about his dear friend. Bill is the most dedicated student of the fire service that I have ever known. He is incredibly detail-oriented, making sure he understands exactly how something works or doesn't work. At the time when many senior firefighters would be beginning to coast out the rest of their careers, Bill is on his hands and knees trying to discover one more nugget of information that he can share with others. Jack Murphy. Bill's unique style is a mixture of job experiences, good firehouse stories, research, and training. As a drum major, he leads the Fire Engineering Hump Day Hangout panel and guests on the podcast that serves as the national launching pad for his inquisitive, down-to-earth mindset on fire service matters that really matter, where he continues to offer praise to those with whom he has borrowed their thoughts to get the point across, never one to take the credit himself. From myself. Few of my friends have been as consistent, sincere, or impressive as Bill. Whether we're discussing firefighting, our children, our beloved United States of America, our loved military, Bill is unhesitatingly attentive. Bill is curious, he's honest, he's kind, he's decent. Bill Gustin has led from the front his entire life. He's without guile or motive. He harbors no ill will towards anyone. Bill Gustin loves only one thing above the fire service, and that's his family, especially his children. Maybe in that alone, he's the richest man in this room. And in that alone, you truly are a Lifetime Achievement Award winner. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2019 FDIC Tom Brennan Lifetime Achievement Award winner, Captain William Gustin.
Well, thank you very much. This is quite an honor. And as I look out into this group, I think I'm looking at the next Lifetime Achievement Award, maybe not next year or the year after. I want to thank, of course, my family, my son, my daughter, my dad, 33 years on the Chicago Fire Department. What an inspiration, a student of the fire service, a man that was terribly injured on the job a couple of times and could have gone out on a disability, and he didn't because he loved the job and he saved firefighters' lives. I want to thank where I got my beginning, the Wheaton, Illinois Fire Department. I am so proud to have been a member of that department. I'm so proud to have been a member of the Naperville Fire Department, very close to Wheaton, my first paid firefighter job. And then the people like this guy here from my beloved Miami-Dade Fire Department, my family. I have, at this point in my career, hundreds of sons and dozens of daughters. I love my department because they are my family. I want to thank FDIC, Fire Engineering. Yes, and I've written quite a few articles in the magazine over the years. And my dear friend Mary Jane Dittmar makes me look good with extreme makeovers. As I scribble my gibberish down, she makes me look legit. And I tell her at the end of every editing session, Mary Jane, I'll never forget the sense of pride and thrill and exuberance that I feel when I see my name in fire engineering that has been published for well over 100 years. To all of you, thank you very much, and may God bless us and keep us all safe in our most noble of professions.
If you didn't hear that, I just wanted to announce Bill will be taking the Brunacini seat at the Unplugged sessions going forward.